like I had a conversation on Facebook. Now I wanted Leroy to come up here or somebody. So if we do with this thing, so okay, what Leroy? Can you hear? Can I? Are you talking?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah. So this is the thing. We talked about this a little bit before. Let me see if I can even go to the Facebook spot where I talked to this brother. But okay, now I know you may believe this, and so we may differ on this one, but we're gonna try to talk about this one. Now, a lot of people think Israel is a good name. Now, you may believe that too. I disagree. I think Esau is the good one. I think Esau is the good one.
Esau. Okay.
No, look at it. Now, according to the words and how the thing went down. And this is where a lot of people, they do similar what you just did, because a lot of people have heard it the different way. They've heard, because and the reason why I think people overlook this is because everybody wants to pick the winner.
You think so? I mean, look, I can only speak on what it says. I mean, you got to highlight it.
Exactly what it says. That's what I wanted to look at. I want to look at exactly what it says. And I'm not going to ask you to look at it and tell me what you think. Okay, hold on. So this is therefore his name will call Edom Genesis. All right, so I want to go through this though. I mean, like I said, I ain't right all the time, but I just want to, I might not be right a lot of times. But this one here, let me see.
I mean, you see what it says? He despised his birthright. He not the winner. How is he the good guy? He gave up his birthright for some food.
Okay, yeah.
He did not value the position God gave him. So how is he the winner?
So when okay, so listen what I said. People want to pick the winners. So I'm not talking about, okay, listen to what I'm saying when I say I'm saying people pick Israel to identify with because they want to pick the winners. I didn't say Esau was the winner. I'm saying that he was good, though. He is the good one. He is not the evil one. No, look at it.
Man, he gave up his birthright. What did you? I mean, I don't see how he can be the good one when he despised his birthright. He was born first. It was his to have. He chose not to have it.
Okay.
That was his decision. That wasn't the Lord didn't harden his heart like he did Pharaoh. He willfully accepted what Jacob offered him, and that was the end of Esau being in line.
Okay. That's a valid point. That's valid.
Line that Jesus came from did not come through Esau because of that.
But let me ask you this question though: do good people always do good things? That doesn't mean he didn't do. Okay, just because he made that mistake, okay, as a lot of good people make mistakes, because a lot of people make mistakes, because we can. That's one thing that you like I said, you got a point, because we're gonna look at what it say. I ain't gonna defend nothing that's true. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But we gotta look at this stuff. This here, like you just pointed out. So they was talking about how, and I don't want to go through, I mean, I don't want to overly go too fast on it, but I want to go kind of at a speed where even lay people, because a lot of people don't read this stuff no more. Yeah. But so he first came out red all over like the hairy garment. Okay, so wait a minute. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go to the actual, let me see. I'm gonna go to the actual thing so we can read this thing right. Hold on. Because this is a real good little spot, and we may just have a good conversation on this, and it might take a minute, so we might end off of this. But let's look at this because hold on a second. So and I'm going to actually see. Okay, so Esau was first, right? So it was his birthright first. So what is the birthright? So is the birthright and the blessing the same thing?
Birthright can be a blessing. In Esau's case, he didn't value.
Hold on. I'm talking about. Well, if you're not really sure, let's read it. Let's look at it. Because I want to ask. I'm talking about just in this situation with the Esau and the Jacob thing, and Isaac and Rebekah. Okay, the birthright and the blessing. It looks like it's two different things. Because the thing, like you're saying, Esau had a right to something because of his being firstborn, and because he gave it up. And in his mind, it was due to his being starving to the point of death. So he would have died. Okay. So he wouldn't have had it anyway because he'd be dead. But the thing in his mind, so he gave it up. So he gave it a birthright. But at that point in time where Isaac was about to pass or what have you, he was going to bless Esau. That was a whole nother different situation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. But the birthright is the blessing. Esau gave that up. I mean, it was known from the beginning that Esau was going to give it up. I mean, Jacob was holding his heel when they were both coming out the womb.
Okay. So there was two nations, though. Now, keep in mind, we're talking about nations.
Okay.
I mean, do you understand the magnitude of that? Because we're talking about it as they're just individuals, but these are groups.
So was Ishmael and Isaac. But out of Isaac was God's seed called, not out of Ishmael.
Well, okay, but that's a whole different. That's a thing too. But we're talking about the Jacob and Esau situation, and that came out of Isaac. Okay.
Yes.
So this is what we're talking about right this moment, because that's a whole other. Now, also,
if you know that.
Hold on. Since you pointed that out, that's hey, what's up, BMT? Yeah, but since you pointed that out, BMT, are you on? Can you say something? Okay, cool. We can hear you. Okay, I just want to make sure we can hear you. But let me finish.
I hear you.
Yeah, but Leroy, since you pointed that out, the Ishmael and the Isaac thing, we know that's two different groups too. So this is out of Isaac, and the Ishmael thing is the Arabs, the Muslim things. So we know that they're not the other nation. So now this is two nations out of Isaac, right? Because Ishmael's a totally different thing.
Ishmael is a totally different thing, but if you notice, God always chose the younger son. Okay. Even when it came to Joseph, even when it came to, I mean, Joseph wasn't the youngest, but he was close to the youngest. I think he was third removed from the youngest. Even if you look at David had older brothers.
This up because this is a real very important point. We're not going to agree, so don't even expect to. But I just want everybody. It's okay. That's the thing. We got to understand. Like, we can't be. People be out here getting mad because they differ on this and that. Dude, just everybody got to just say how they see
it for themselves.
Yeah, but keep going on that. BMT, if you know what we're talking about, right? This little part of the Ishmael thing.
Yeah.
I want to find the actual stuff. So y'all keep going, D-Roy, while I look for that real quick.
Okay, well, David was not the oldest either, but he was also chosen. Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you why he chose the younger sibling or the younger brother, but I mean, that's just what he did according to the word. I mean, and yeah, I do believe. I don't have any doubts about it. I mean, Esau, he gave it up, and Lord knows all, so he already knew he was gonna give it up. The same way he knew that Isaac, the same way he knew Abraham was going to sacrifice Isaac, like he was told. And it wasn't until Lord placed that angel there while the knife was coming down that that didn't happen. But you know, Ishmael, the word says that out of Abraham, he's the father of nations. So you know, from there we have everything. You know, of course we can go back to Adam, but in this respect, you know, we talking about Abraham and his lineage, which is related to Adam. So, because think about it this way, it could have came out of Abel, but Cain killed Abel. And in that instance, once again, the Lord chose the younger sibling. He chose Abel. He didn't choose Cain. He didn't honor Cain's sacrifice when he showed up with plants because it was always about the blood. That was a prerequisite to what happened in the New Testament with Jesus spilling or Yeshua giving his blood willfully.
Okay. But okay, so I'm listening to a lot of stuff. But there are certain contexts that you didn't put in there. Like Cain's offering wasn't accepted because he didn't give his best. So he held back his best offering. So God was like, "What are you doing? You're giving me not your best harvest. You're giving me just some of your harvest." Versus this man is giving me his best lamb. There's a difference in that. The Isaac situation, that was because Sarah moved against what God told her to do. I told you to lay down with your husband. I didn't ask for you to help me. I don't need your help. So it's not that God is choosing these things. It's that it's a design that men are trying to play God or try to get over a system, and they get caught up because that's normally what happens. Why when people move out of a certain order, a certain order of a system. Um, the same thing with Jacob. Jacob stole his brother's blessing because his mother said, "Hey, your father's going blind. We can trick him." Other than that, his brother would have got it. These are things that men are doing to try to manipulate certain things. Now, between Isaac and his brother, had he gone down to Egypt, they wouldn't have the situation. He chose to do the latter and do his own thing, even though God said, "I got you. I'll take care of you." Again, when people do their own thing against that of nature and against that of a system set before them, whatever people's belief are, these things don't work out. That's why, yeah, God knows the hearts of men, but he also gives you free choice. So it's not that he chooses the weak. He not that he chooses the youngest one. He chooses the one that's going to more so follow after what he says. If you follow what he tells you to do, then yeah, you know, I mean, because honestly, that's the protocol. The oldest one is always supposed to receive the blessing, but if the oldest one is afraid to do what's told to do, versus the youngest one say, "Well, I'll do it," regardless of whatever the consequences is, then I'm gonna have to just take that one. So These type of conflicts that are happening this is a family conflict, but this is a conflict that was caused because of disobedience, not because of, well, God wanted this to happen. No, this is because of disobedience. You don't listen to what that is before you. You got it right now where men and women are being disobedient against that of the order of how men and women are supposed to do things, and you're seeing all kind of breakdown and deconstruction of the home. That's
Right.
not something that God is doing. That's not something Yeshua is doing. He's like, listen, I gave y'all simple instructions of the order of things. Y'all changing up on how the system of things work in the world. So can you blame that on me? Because I don't change. Man changes, not me. My law, once God says something, that's it. He don't have to redact on what he says. Man is doing his own thing. Well, women and women can live together and they can do this. Man and
Right.
man. Well, I never said to do none of that. Y'all are making these new rules and stuff. That's not what I told y'all to do. So the stuff that has happened, especially like in this war, Israel's supposed to be the so-called chosen people, and they wanted a savior. But what type of savior? They're supposed to be the so-called chosen people. Notice I'm just doing that. But again, people are going against orders of things or literally changing the deals. The word has been destroyed multiple times. The book has been destroyed multiple times and then rewritten.
But yet it's
That,
still
that,
here. Can BMT? Can we say it's not his order though? I mean, what has happened has happened. There's no change in that. The fact
we
that
say, okay, we mean
Isaac,
by his not in water.
uh, in other words, what history is does not change. When it comes to uh, Esau and Isaac is the
Oh,
father.
Isaac.
Esau and Jacob, the Lord already knew that Jacob was gonna do what he wanted. He already knew that before the man was born. He knows about us before we born. He knows what our steps will be. He knows who's gonna follow and who's not. He knows that. I'm talking about
Right.
God.
Let me say something.
Okay, and therefore him knowing that Esau was never in the picture. We're
Well,
given what happened, but it's not his. It was never his birthright to have. The Lord already knew he was gonna give it up.
okay. That's cool. Like, this is what I want to do, though. I just want to make sure that we keep. I know there's a lot. Keep in mind, this thing been happening, talked about probably for trillions of times over the last 3,000 years or whatever, or 4,000 years, 6,000 years. But what I'm on in this particular conversation, this is the thing that I'm trying to get. I want to, I guess, have we want to see. Okay, so this is my belief. Okay, right now, I'm showing that actually Esau was the good one and Jacob was the evil one. Okay, and so Esau, and so I can say it like this: Esau was the good nation, and Jacob was the bad nation, because there were nations in her womb. See, we're not even just talking about people. And that's what it's kind of hard for us to understand sometimes, because we see one name and we're thinking about one person. But these are nations this is a group. These are groups of a person who's following this style of operation. Okay. That's what they're doing. They're following us. They're following their father. These are two different fathers in this woman's womb, Rebecca.
So
Right?
when Jacob, yeah, so when Jacob later on in his life had to wrestle the angel for his blessing,
Mm-hmm.
do you think Esau would have done that?
No, Esau would not
Well,
wrestle
then
the angel
uh,
of God. Think about
for
that.
his
Think about that. That's God's angel.
mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So that's like fighting God.
No,
man,
it's not.
Would you do
Because
that?
the angel is not God. To get my blessing, you're absolutely right. If I thought that was gonna be to my benefit, I'm gonna do everything I can to get
right.
that.
I
Okay, and
agree
that
with me.
and that's what Jacob did when it came to Esau. He realized what he wanted, and that the Lord
Okay.
knew he was gonna fulfill the duty. And after he wrestled with that angel, he stopped being Jacob and became Israel.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's my point. Yeah, think about. Okay, so I just want to go through the steps real quick, and I just want to try to get this. Is this good or bad? Let's take a situation by situation and just give it real quick on what you think is that good or bad. So we here in Genesis 25 because like I said, I know it's a whole lot to talk about. This it'll be talked about forever, but I just want to see what each person that y'all opinion on this each step here. So we got Abraham. Okay, so Abraham, we know is Abraham considered good?
Yes,
Yes.
Abraham and Isaac are considered good.
yes,
And
Yes.
okay, and I believe that too. So Abraham did something. So Abraham had Hagar and Sarah. Okay, so
well,
that
Sarah first.
okay. So but
Sarah did well.
we not
Sarah, he actually married Sarah.
no, that's not part of this. I like I said, each one of these steps is a whole lot, but just for the subject of Jacob and Esau, which one was bad, which one was good. So then we have, I'm just, okay, so Isaac was 40. Okay, he took a daughter. Okay, he, children. Okay, so Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. The Lord was entreated by him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. All right. So,
Correct.
and the children struggled together within her. So these are two children fighting inside of her. They're fighting each other
Yes,
in her.
yeah,
And
yeah.
and then so if why am I thus? Okay. I can't believe it. I'm just trying to get through it quickly, but not too quickly. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire to the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, two nations, so we're not just talking about people, are in thy womb, and two manner of people. So these are actually different manners. These people have different manners. So I'm asking you which manners are good, which manners are bad. Two manner of people shall be separated from thy body, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. All right. So, like Leroy said, God already knew, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So that you was proven right there. It just showed you. So
I mean,
first,
it ain't about me being right,
I
but I
mean,
get you. Go ahead, go ahead. It's all
just
good.
right there. Yeah, factually correct. And the first came out red all over. I don't notice it. What's the significance of red like a hairy garment? That confuses me. And they called his name Esau. Do y'all have any idea on that? The first came out red all over like a hairy garment. Because
So
garments aren't hairy. I don't know.
no,
No,
no.
but he was here. Go ahead, BFT.
Esau was was considered a very manly, wild man,
Mm,
and you gotta understand this is why when Isaac saw Esau, he was like, "This is a man. Like we good. Like
mm,
me passing on the blessing is good to him because he's strong. He has red fire. You know, he go out and hunt and stuff. Esau had hair all over his body, so he had that masculinity appearance that when other people saw him, they had a certain type of fear about him. You know, he had that dominance.
So
Mm.
so BMT, think about what you said earlier though, when you said that man will when we're looking at the things that we're talking about, we see where man and women have choose to do that which is against God's will. Isaac thought it best to give it to Esau.
Well, he followed the rule. Well, the thing about it was Isaac was following the rules of their customs. You always, because in the rules of their custom, you do give your blessing to the firstborn. That's how it's
Your
always been done.
firstborn, the oldest. Oh, absolutely.
Right.
I'm here.
So,
I'm here.
okay. So Isaac wasn't out of the order because he was like, okay, Lord, you bless me with a strong, healthy a healthy man to pass on my blessing. Mind you, you only get one blessing to pass on to. So, usually the eldest in the family, if we, for us as men, you have an oldest boy, he takes on majority of the workload. He starts learning all your mannerisms and everything because you're passing on the next in line to him. Like, when I'm gone now, you got to take care of your mama. So that was going to fall upon Esau. Okay. However,
Esau gave
however,
it up because he was hungry.
E- Esau did not think. Esau was not thinking. Esau was like, oh, yeah, I don't give a damn. Esau did not respect that of the blessing. He didn't respect that of the culture that comes with the blessing. And if you are a man that does not respect your culture, how can God use you? That's like a man still talking about, well, I don't care about all this black on black nigga laggity lack shit. So we can't use you.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. What are you saying, man? I should be running this. I'm the man for the job, but you don't respect that of the culture. So why should we use you? Why would we want to put you in that position of authority? You don't care. You don't care. You just want the
And
position.
and and
So,
that's signified by him giving up his birthright before it even got to the blessing. That Rebecca and
exactly.
Jacob, tricked Isaac out of. So the Lord knew best not to give it to Esau.
Okay, y'all giving.
And
Hold
how
on,
he
hold on. Y'all getting ahead though. Because I want to comment, but then I can't comment on what you're saying right now, really, because you know what I'm saying.
I mean, it's
You
hard.
can only some more
I
than
mean, I
Mike.
get just say it, Mike.
No, because see, I'm trying to go through this. This is long. What we're saying, this stuff is going to be long. I understand it's going to be. I want y'all, but I don't want
And
to.
intricate.
Yeah, so there's nuance here and stuff, but I just want to.
Yes.
I want to make sure everybody put their real thoughts out and all that kind of thing because it's up to everybody to decide what they believe as far as how that goes.
Right.
I like what you said, BMT, on the red thing because that actually makes sense to me because based on a lot of the color code with the hairiness, especially in those people, they believe that fire, that manhood stuff. So that is two manner of people. So I was trying to look up in the concordance if they had some comments on that, but I don't see nothing right now. So that makes sense. Go ahead.
So when you look at just people groups now,
Mm-hmm.
who is hairy? Who are the hairy people?
Well, that's a big jump. There are some white people that's hairy, but there's a lot of hairy black folks. There's a lot of hairy Asians. Red would look
But
more. Red would look to me more like the East Indians. So that, like I said, we can
but
come
that
up
was
with,
covered with Ishmael.
huh?
But that group was covered with Ishmael. I'm just
Okay,
saying, out
like I
of
said,
the people that we see,
but
who are the hairiest? When you think of hairy, you don't think of black people.
well, that's the only thing I'm saying is Leroy. I feel like that's how we make a mistake, because we just kind of came up with that. You know what I'm saying? Based on what
What I
we
see
see in America. We just came here. We only been here about 30, 40, 50 years. This stuff is 4,000 years old. They didn't know nothing about cell phones and all that kind of stuff. It was a totally different group of people back then. So that's all I'm saying. Like, it might be true. I can't say what you're alluding to is not true, but all I'm saying is that that's just a huge step. You got to take me step by step to verify that that's kind of clean around. Because red, I know red, it symbolizes many things, like calling somebody a goat, calling somebody a serpent in the Bible. These are symbolic terms, you know. So when somebody refers to people as hairy and, you know, goat and sheep, that ain't meaning they actually sheeps and stuff. You know what I mean? That's kind of it's telling you there's you know, they were agriculturalists, you know what I'm saying? Just like it said that wasn't it Jacob used rocks as his pillow, you know. And we're talking about nations.
The shepherds.
Right. So
The shepherd, they used to sleeping outside. Yeah.
Yeah, all I'm saying is you could be right. But all I'm saying is that's just a big jump.
I'm looking at when I'm looking at the context of how what we want to picture is the right person for the job may not be the one who's actually qualified for the job. Again, when we had a conversation talking about how easily earlier, me and Mike talked about how easily we sell off our legacy. Esau sold off his legacy for a bowl of food.
Yeah, some porridge.
See, y'all getting ahead.
Oatmeal.
My bad. Let me shut up. Let me shut up.
No, I might just say it.
Y'all gonna see why. Y'all gonna see why I say y'all getting ahead, because I want to try to go through each one of these steps.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's keep going a little bit, because these are steps that he's telling us. They told us, first off, the Bible wants you to know that these are two nations. I think that's important. Inside the same woman, so they got the same genetics. So when we talk about
the elder would serve the younger. Okay. Who's on top first?
Huh?
Who's on top first?
Who's on top first is us.
Okay. If we was on top first, then that we know what
you jumping ahead.
We know what Jacob was. We know what Abraham was. He looked like me. He looked like us.
Let's keep moving through. It.
And now we serving them.
see. So
I mean, let's bring it all the way to present day. But go ahead. Just say it, man.
It's very tough to just go through each one of these steps. So, like we said, the dude, like you said, two nations. Elders should serve the youngers. That's actually very key. I'm glad you pointed that out. We got the children. So the Lord said two nations. Okay, when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins. That's telling you they got the same seed. The genetics is not the issue, but they look different. One came out red. They called him Esau. After that, his brother came out, and his hand
holding his heel.
But yeah, he
was hand, on his
right
the whole time.
That means something, though. That's a symbol. That's a clue, because that his hand took hold of Esau's heel. But I don't know what that means. But I know that right there, you know, that's just like, you know, somebody saying so. And then they called his name Jacob. And Isaac was basically 60 years old, three score years old when she bore them. So Yeah. Does anybody have any ideas on heal? Is there any other places in the Bible where they talk about somebody grabbing hold of somebody's heels or bringing somebody to heal or, you know?
Well, it says that, you know, Satan will be crushed by Jesus's heel.
Okay.
You know, that's the only one that comes to mind for me in
Okay.
this. But you know, my thoughts on him holding his heel is that regardless of what we look like, we are all the people he made. You know, that's what I grab from it, and that we shouldn't be falling for racism on either side. I'm not saying it does not exist. I'm saying we should not be separating ourselves by color, because then they didn't separate themselves by color, they separated themselves by what you are. I mean, I can't tell you how, you know, I mean, yeah, it's by a look, but at the same time, if everyone in the area looks very similar, how can you tell an Egyptian from a Libyan or Ethiopian? You see what I'm saying? People have distinct looks. When they keep mating together, then naturally you're gonna have groups form and they're gonna be similar in that group. So in that
So
way, I do see how you can differentiate based on appearance, but it should not be a point of division. It's just what he made us look like.
Mhm.
so
And we
the
need to accept that. Go ahead, BMT.
so the irony is the heel in the body is made to support uh you as you stand.
Mhm.
Mhm.
However, and that was something that was very interesting because we all assumed that Jacob would end up being the one who would support Esau
Mm.
because he came grabbing him at his heel while they pulled him out.
Right.
And so you see, there's the heel supports you holding on to his heel, but it was of the latter. Esau would be supporting Jacob, but I'll stop right there. That's why I just
Mm.
find it very interesting that he was holding on to his heel.
Right. So that's deep. Like I said, I don't really have a researched comment on that. I just know just from the way that that's worded, like it could have just said Esau came out and then Jacob came out second, but it actually made a point to tell you that Jacob was holding his brother's heel.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that was something for at some point in time we will get some good, real good extra. That's a clue, like, to me. So now this to me is real interesting. This next section here. So this right here tells us something. So and the boys grew. Esau, kind of like what BMT said earlier, he was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. And
Mm-hmm.
Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Okay. Now let me add this one in. This here. Now, Leroy, I'm interested to know what you think about this. Now, look at this. And Isaac, which is a man of God, he was actually a prophet of God to what, Sodom and Gomorrah or something, or wherever it was. But Isaac loved Esau because he ate of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. So, what does that mean usually when that's the mama's boy?
You
So go ahead.
tripping.
What do y'all think of
You
that?
tripping.
No, I'm just saying that's a point there. See,
Yeah.
it's telling you that Rebecca and Isaac had a difference.
Yes, they absolutely did. Hey, before we get to that, who else was cunning and a hunter before the Lord? Nimrod.
Okay,
Was Nimrod good or bad?
okay. I think he was bad because he
Oh
tried to
yeah,
against what's his name?
He
Moses.
he absolutely was bad.
Mhm.
Nimrod wasn't a good guy.
Well, that don't mean that all hunters are good or bad, and we wasn't really. We just point out all sections. We just, that's why I say I want to go step by step, and just one thing doesn't, it's just, to me, I'm looking at a succession of issues here. But to me, that stands out. I'm gonna tell you what I think. To me, I think Isaac is smarter than Rebecca, and he sees character, but Rebecca sees a mama's boy, something, because women.
Wait. Does she, Mike? Or maybe she sees that Esau. She might see that Esau ain't no good. She might see
Okay,
that
so
Esau
you,
is one that is willing to give up his birthright and
okay.
has no desire. Yeah, he was mad because he didn't get the blessing, but you ain't give a damn about the birthright. So how's you that mad about the blessing?
I mean, and that's fine. Like I said, this is all fine. Everything we say is cool. But I'm saying that it is strange to me that Isaac was actually in the line of divine with Abraham. God chose Isaac and Abraham. God seen the wisdom of Isaac. He didn't choose Rebecca. And so Rebecca, she loved Jacob, but Isaac loved Esau. So Isaac seen like, I like Esau.
So
But
it's
this. Go ahead, BMT.
Go ahead.
so again, when as they look at it, you have it where Isaac can boast, look at my son. He's a man's man. He goes out there, he hunts, he cooks, he fishes. He's out there. He can have his pick of any woman.
And who did he
Because
choose? He
now,
chose
now,
women he wasn't
now,
supposed to.
now, but see, in the eyes of, when that's your oldest, you have a Chad, a strapping lad that's out there like an Esau. When you have an Esau on your hands, a father like Isaac, there's a pride in that. There's a pride that he has in him because he's like, man, here I am
That's that
stuck
dude.
inside. I'm stuck inside the temple, and everybody inside the office that would be their office is like, boy, that boy Esau, he's something else, man. Like you got a good strong man. I know, and I can't wait till he takes over the house of Jacob. I mean of Isaac. It's gonna be great. Now, what about your other boy? He stays at home in the tent around his mama. He don't come out.
Man.
That
He don't
doesn't
go
make
out and he don't go out and hunt with the other boys. See what I'm saying? So maybe this is why there's a law of nature. Again, you're dealing with the laws of nature where men go out and hunt and thrive while the women stay in the tent and they sew, they do X, Y, and Z. And so, well, father, I'd rather sit at home in the tent. Me and mother, we talking and gossiping and stuff. You supposed to be out there with your brother hunting and fishing, and you trying to
Oh wow.
and see there would be some type of disconnect with the father. I'm not saying that he probably didn't have some type of love for Jacob, but he was like, listen, how is it that y'all both came out around the same time, yet y'all are so different? And that happens with parents where he's like, well, I don't know what to do with you, son. I pray for strong men, but you're not showing your strength. Now the mama's like, oh, don't get on his back. But that's like, but see, you got to be strong. You had to be a strong man back in the day. A weak man does not last long. He'll be dead. Right. So that
I
ain't going
think
to be
I
coddled
think
under a
y'all selling
woman.
Jacob a little short.
No, this is
I'm not. We're not.
that's why I'm trying to
Well,
go. I'm saying I'm really trying to go through it point by point.
how are we selling Jacob short if majority of the men that they mentioned in the Bible all were outside? The first thing God said, you will work to the sweat of your brow. Ain't nowhere in there was talking about sitting in a tent.
Look, we
So
are. Oh, yeah, all that is true, BMT, but we can't pretend like Jacob didn't wrestle an angel to get his blessing from
that
God.
would no, you speaking down the,
Hold on.
Y'all
That
getting ahead.
sound, hold on,
Hold on.
hold on,
but
hold
you
on,
get
hold on.
ahead.
Does that,
Wait,
but does,
wait.
regardless if I'm getting ahead or not, we can't pretend like this is some
We gonna
pimp
get there.
squeak.
We gonna get to that angel. I guarantee you. But we
All
gotta
right.
people just go straight to that angel and then they go straight to, oh, he sold his birthright and that's
I
it.
mean, no. He
I'm
sold his
saying we
birthright
got
before it got.
steps. Like, see, people,
Isaac was dead when he wrestled
okay,
with the angel.
I know, but I'm saying these are the points that people bring up, which are true. But if they don't go through these steps, to me, it's not. I don't see how people are getting. There should be more conversation about this thing. I'll say at the very least, you got to have some more conversation, more detailed conversation. Even if you still come down on the same side, people are, to me, this is something here to be really looked at. Now, here's the next step. Now, this is the part where the birthright part at. So Isaac, like I said, Isaac loved Esau. So we know Isaac, he loved Esau, the father. But, and it says because he ate of his venison. Okay, so that's there too for us to know. But Rebecca loved Jacob. The mama loved Jacob. He was a mama's boy. And Jacob was in the kitchen cooking some pottage, which is some wheat that he got out the field, which is good. It's okay. He cooked some pottage. And Esau came from the field. See, Jacob was sitting up there and home in the tent, man.
Chilling. Good. With the soft hands.
He was out there working hard. He came from the field and he was faint. This is your brother. He came from the field. Leroy. Oh, man, Mike. I came from the field. Damn, man, I'm hungry as hell. I'm about to die. Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. Okay, so that name means something that I don't have the definition for, but we know that means something, because anytime the Bible gives you a different name, it's describing something like an action, and then it tells you that's what it's for. And Jacob said, oh, you weak. Okay, here's an opportunity for me. Sell me this day thy birthright. That's some snaky shit.
Edom means red.
This right here is the part that's the reason why I'm saying no.
How about this?
No,
if Esau, hold on. If Esau was as strong as, and look, and he was a strong guy, out in the field, hunting, getting down. Why wasn't he strong enough to realize that, dude, yeah, I'm hungry, but I'm not giving up my birthright for some food. What you gonna do is feed me regardless. How about that? Why didn't he just go there?
Okay, you asking me why, but the Bible is telling you this is what happened.
Yeah.
I can't.
Is that exactly? And that's why we just have to accept it, even if we don't understand it.
Right. I can't just come up with a reason why, but I'm saying that's not something that I would appreciate my brother doing to me.
Right.
So
that's
weird. But it was look, he didn't care about it. I mean, okay, so I don't. I don't even know how to say it. I mean, I just don't understand
You
how y'all don't get that. Esau did not care about his birthright. If he cared
well,
about it, he would have said, "F your
so
porridge. I'm not
so
giving up
the
my
thing
birthright." Go
so the
ahead.
thing
Go ahead.
about it is, if you don't, this is no different than why a lot of people complain now. We got to get the land. We got to get the land. We got to get back this. We got to get back that. But if you don't use the people that you already have now, then can you complain about that what you don't have later on if you ain't using it? You're not using your tools now. Now, can we honestly say that that um, doggone Jacob tricked Esau? No, because he understood that he only cared about one thing:
His
is indulgence.
belly, the God of his belly.
I would say his indulgence of, hey, I'm faint, I'm hungry. Now, it's interesting. A hunter that doesn't want to cook for himself. He saw Esau. He saw Jacob as weak. See, there's two types of strength. There's the
Right.
mental strength, and then there's the physical strength. And see, yeah, Esau was physically strong, but again, it's very interesting that he was called Edom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's red, but he was also wasn't highly intelligent because he would
Was
have been
he?
able to. Well, the thing about it was because all he was the thing about it was he, as much as he liked to hunt, he could have easily had cooked some
He
meat.
must. Maybe he evidently he didn't know how to cook. I don't
We
know,
don't want.
man.
The thing about it was he was easily bought and sold. He easily was bought and sold. He said, "Cook for me." You can You demanded that of your own flesh and blood to cook for me.
He
And
didn't ask.
mind you,
Go ahead.
Jacob's like, oh, okay, you coming up about around that time. See, it's like when a brother's like, hey, I can do that for you, but you're gonna owe me later on. I don't
Mm.
care. I don't care. You sure? You sure? You sure you want to take this? Yeah, 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 whatever. But see, you don't think they're thinking down the road. They're thinking down the long game on the road. So you said yes. This is no different than the white man and the black man.
Dang,
You
I'm
sure?
glad you made that connection because I was thinking that. Sure enough,
Yeah.
And
This is why we partner up, Mike.
sure enough, was thinking that.
You
and
sure
that's
you want to take that deal, black man? You sure you want to take that deal? Yeah, man. Give me that $50,000. Okay. Now the land is
hold
worth
on,
goddamn.
but the
Now the land is
words
worth $80 million.
but the word says the elder will serve the younger. Esau was the oldest,
Okay.
and who was on top in the beginning? We were, but people were right.
Okay. So it was
Okay,
fair.
so say again.
It was fair. So you had your brother serve
It,
you. Your brother
it,
served you food.
and for that, uh, Esau gave up his birthright. He thought it more important to, yeah, let me get this bowl and eat. Who cares about a birthright? Yeah, you can have that, and I can't do nothing with that now. He didn't think about the future. He just thought about today, now, right now. He said, you know what? I'm hungry now. If that's what it takes for me to get this food, because I ain't gonna cook. I yeah. And if he willing to give that up, then he was never the man for the job, no matter how many deers he ran down and murdered and came back and fed Isaac. Isaac thought he was the guy, but he wasn't the guy, or
But
he would have been the guy.
Leroy,
What's up?
you're actually changing up what Esau actually said. It
How
wasn't
am I
that he didn't
changing it up?
look at it's sitting right here in front of us. He said, okay, this is the situation. It wasn't that he didn't give a damn about the birthright at this point. Look at it. It says, Jacob said, sell. So when Jacob seen that he was, Jacob waited until he was desperate. And then he said, sell me this day thy birthright. Esau said, behold, I am at the point of dying. So that was the context. It wasn't like, dude, you can have that birthright. I don't care about that damn birthright. It wasn't like that. It was he was at the point of dying.
So
and hold on and read what it says, and you can't pretend like this is not the situation because it's in the word here.
No one's pretending.
And what profit shall this birthright be to me if I'm dead?
So do you think Esau was speaking in a literal sense, or was he being facetious? Was he just speaking in hyperbole? Do you think he was at the point of death?
See, not me.
Literally.
If you're asking me that, I wasn't there. I'm just saying this is what was written down. I can make up what I want it to be.
I can give you another example.
No.
Biblically.
Let's look at
what I can.
I know. But why are we changing from what we're looking at? This is
I'm just giving you another example of when someone speaks in the word who is chosen by God or not chosen by God, where they speaking in hyperbole, where it's, I'm saying this, but I already know the situation. So it's not to be taken as literal as you trying to make it. I mean, I'm not saying those words are not being said. What I'm saying is it's not in the literal sense where it should be taken as serious.
So let me ask you this: Are you saying that Esau wasn't hungry?
No, I'm not saying Esau wasn't hungry.
Okay, so if he was hungry, he believed that he was at the point of death. That's what he believed at that point.
Come on, man.
What?
Bro, we talking about someone who kills for a living. You think he was man. He probably didn't want to cook. I mean, look, I don't know. Like you said, we were not there, but I can give you another person not far from this situation who spoke in hyperbole and knew damn well that them people outside the house didn't want his daughters. He knew they didn't want his daughters.
Well,
but he told he hold on, BMT. Lot told them what? I had 2 daughters that haven't known a man. Lot knew them men didn't want his daughters or anybody else that was outside his house. He knew they did not want his daughters. The same way Esau was speaking in hyperbole when he said that, I'm at the point of death, man. Yeah, I want something to eat. If you want the birthright, fine. I'm going, if I die and I don't eat, then, then what good is the birthright to me?
Okay. Well, I mean, that's what you look, everybody has the right to believe their way. I'm just saying, this is what's actually written down here. That's all I'm saying. I don't really know. No. I'm just saying this is what, people have chosen to put in the Bible, and this is what made it to us after these many thousands of years.
Yes.
So it could be saying some whole different stuff. So I'm not about to be like harping on it. I'm just saying according to what is written that we was raised on. And that's why I always go back to the King James version, even though I know they got different versions. But I know most of us were raised on King James. So, that's pretty much the word as we were taught. I know, of course I know that there's the Septuagint, there's the Vulgate, there's there's all sorts of versions.
The NIV, the never inspired version.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to argue with all of those things, but the point is this is what comes to us. So if we're going to believe these English words, okay, that have come to us, it actually literally says, is what it tells us there. It says, "Feed me, I pray, with the same red porridge, for I am faint." And then and basically he said, so they called him Edom. Jacob said, "Sell me this day thy birthright." Esau said, "Behold, I'm at the point of dying. And what profit shall this birthright be to me?" And Jacob said, "Swear to me this day." And he swore unto him and sold his birthright unto Jacob. Okay. So that's how Jacob negotiated the birthright of Esau.
Yeah,
So if y'all remember it, I'm just saying people pretend that stuff didn't happen. They just like, oh, Esau didn't give it them. So thus,
he didn't, man. He didn't. Yeah, okay. This. Hold on, Mike.
Hold on. I'm just saying. So I'm just reading the words. I'm literally just reading the words. He swore unto him and sold his birthright. You right?
He sure did.
Okay, so you like that part, but here's the part two. Then
I mean, I like all of it, whether I agree with it or not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Then
more than whether I agree with it, whether I understand it or not.
So then Jacob gave Esau bread, pottage, and pottage of lentils. So he ate those red lentils. He ate and drank and rose up and went his way. Thus, see, because of that, thus Esau despised his birthright. That's what. So he didn't. He was mad because he did that. That's what I take that as. Well, what do you say? What do y'all say?
I would want to say, and this has been a long-standing thing, especially for blacks, that we don't look further down. And again, I said it before, that we look at the immediate self-indulgence when we hit a hard time, rather than look down at the longer end of the game. And so this has been an ongoing trope. Again, he came in demanding of his brother that, mind you, this bitterment was not just spurned because Jacob hated Esau, when his father was very openly vocal and said, "Esau is my favorite."
Right.
Well, his father in heaven, he wasn't his father in heaven's favorite. But go ahead. My bad.
No, you can't wipe away that type of pain that as a father or as a parent, you ain't supposed to have favorites. See, that's the thing about it. When you have it with rather than favor your sons, you bring your children in. Separating them and showing love and favor for one child causes a disdain and deception with the other.
And that's what Jacob learned that lesson. He didn't draw a distinction between his sons. His sons took it upon themselves to lay a trap for Joseph. Right?
Well,
and then he was sold into slavery.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about...
Okay, keep going.
Well,
go ahead. Keep going.
We're looking at the fact that look how the Bible specifically said what Isaac favored Esau.
Okay.
So Esau had the ear of his father. That was his favorite. Not, "I love my sons." He said, he favored Esau, the manly child. And they did that, and he feminized Jacob and said his mother liked him. He stayed inside in the tent. So they gave one child the masculine energy, and they gave the other one, well, he just stays inside. He knows his place
and cooks.
and cooks. You see how you see how they roll together, Mike? He stays inside and he cooks, and his mother loves him. But the other one goes out and hunts. His daddy loves him. He brings him venison. He brings him meat.
Right. See.
Sorry, Daddy should have nipped that in the bud.
Now,
hey,
before we move on from this point, you and I'm gonna let Leroy go ahead and go, saying let us know the whole situation on that. But I did want to make the parallel that BMT draw for. So while we looking at this situation, we got to understand who used this technique on places like Africa. You wait until a group of people are starving, hungry, and then you make a deal with them. That's when you make your deal. You make sure
you got them at their weakest point.
Yeah, you don't fund their communities, you don't fund their schools, you don't do this, you don't do that, and then that when they're complaining and they feel like they're about to die, oh, you got something valuable, your talent. Oh, okay, we can go get your talent now because y'all are poor. So all I had to do is flash $50,000 in front of your face and tell you to sign a 360 deal. Give me your birthright, because your birthright is what you're born with. That's your talent. That is, especially if you live in, let's say, Africa or something like that. Those are your minerals. All of that. These things that we're naturally born with are as talents. We'll sell that over to somebody, and that's interesting. Who's using that technique? That's all I wanted to say. Now, go ahead, Leroy. What do you want to say about this situation?
Okay, well, we have to provide the context. We have to go to the New Testament, Romans 9:13. I'll read it.
Yeah.
And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her being Rebekah, the elder shall serve the younger. Quote, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. That's God speaking. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy. Mercy. It was God's decision the whole time. There was never any ambiguity in what God meant to happen. That's why it's history, because it happened. There's no way we can change that. He meant for it to be how it was. He knew what Esau was. That's God speaking when he said, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. He knew what Esau was. Hello?
Okay. So okay, that's
Romans, so people can know.
Yeah,
Romans 9 chapter verse 13.
So that's a good thing. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they the children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Okay. So
And that's why he changed his name to Israel. Let me give y'all something that was revealed to me before we move on. God tells us that, when you get married, that he takes twain and make them one. He took two words and made them one. And in that you find us who believe in him. And in a sense, we are his last name when you put it together. God is real. it's almost as if, I mean, he doesn't need us to verify his existence, but he brings us in, and he did that through his will. Like he said, he showeth mercy on who he chooses to. That is not our decision, or this whole thing that we're living would have been done long time ago if it was up to people.
Right. So my thing is this. True enough, everything, of course, I believe that God, allows things to happen. But the thing is, I'm looking at, if you look at how the Bible flow moves, just because God allows it and knows it's going to happen, that doesn't mean that that is the side of righteousness.
And and that's why he covered it in the New Testament. Hold on, he said right here, he spoke to that in Romans,
Mm-hmm.
where it says, hold on, let me open it back up. Of course, it doesn't want to cooperate now. All right, here we go. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. So there's no unrighteousness with God. He knew what it was. He knew Esau was not gonna, he knew he could not put his seed in Esau. After all that happened, Esau went and got if I remember correctly, he married Canaanite women. And God said, no, that ain't what you supposed to be doing. But Esau did it anyway.
Well, like I said, I don't want to veer off too much into different stuff, because even though that might be true and that might be wrong, but I'm just looking at a certain set of things, because, and like what you just pointed out, just to me, just because a God knew and allowed something to happen, that is still like God allowed them to kill Jesus. You see what I'm saying? But that's for a purpose. But that doesn't
Absolutely.
but that doesn't mean that the people who killed Jesus was good. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that a lot of the stuff is being allowed for us to see and make choices. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that God didn't give who he gave and blessed who he wanted to bless and allow these situations to go through. So that's not my main point on this particular section of how I'm myself understanding it. Like I said, everybody's going to understand things differently because everybody's coming from a different perspective. But I'm just trying to literally honestly, just try to say, okay, I'm just looking at this here. Like, okay, this guy, I'm just saying it's like, I can't say that is good. That's all I'm saying. I didn't say that God didn't mandate it to happen, but I know there's many situations that God allowed to happen. And but that doesn't mean the culprit was good. That's all. That's all I'm saying. And now I have to really, like,
Well,
go ahead.
if we just go with Judas, he wasn't good. The word says about him, it would have been better for him if he had never been born.
Mm-hmm.
And he sold Jesus out to
See,
who? The
right.
Sanhedrin and the Sadducees and the
Pharisees,
Jews of the day. Yeah, all of them too. And it was ultimately to God's purpose, because he said that what all are called to the purpose of God, who he loves and are called to his purpose. So even the worst things God can pull out of that and make it the best thing.
well, I feel like all of this stuff here, we got a lot of negative history. And a lot of, when I say negative history, I'm saying it in that way because like if you look at a battery, it's a negative and a positive on there, but they both work they fight each other, but they work for a purpose, right?
Mhm.
So stuff may seem negative to us. God knows more than us. We can sit up here and blame God and all this stuff about, oh, you should have let this happen. Like, we don't even know what happened. We stupid.
We don't know the
That's
backstory.
why it says, shall we say then, is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. No. But my thing is this, for us not to be making a mistake just because God allows something, okay?
Means it's right. Period.
It doesn't mean, okay, it's right for us. Okay.
What? Hold on. If it wasn't right,
let me prove that before you start psychoanalyzing. God allowed Satan to. No, look,
I'm listening. Go for it.
God allowed Satan. That's number one. But Satan is not right for us. God allowed Satan to tempt and deceive Adam and Eve out of the garden. But Satan is not allowed for us. He allowed Jesus to be killed. But we're not supposed to. But you see what I'm saying? So just because God allows a thing to take place, it's right because God allowed it, but it's right. But as far as for us to engage in and to support God is letting, obviously he's just like with the Job situation, he's allowing Satan to, for a reason that we don't know. He's allowing.
No, we know.
Well, I mean,
we know.
Say, but we think we know.
Oh, we absolutely know. Well, come on, man. Job, did Job fall?
We think.
I mean, we can look at all the things he lost. We can look at his wife who told him to curse God and die. But we can't.
Leroy, you didn't even let me finish what I'm.
Go for it.
We look at the Job situation. That's just an example. So I'm saying God is obviously allowing Satan access to us. In each one of us, different situations is for situations, and we don't know exactly. A lot of us don't know exactly why. I'll just say that the Satan is allowed to tempt you. So he's being allowed to do something, and it's right that it should be allowed. But is this choice right for you, the satanic choice? No. Because God could just wipe this whole thing clean with all of the stuff that we seeing going on nowadays. But why does he allow it? Just because he allow it, is it right? No. It's right that
what?
No, listen. So you said that God, so it's right that Obama is, killing people and lying to people. You saying that's allowed? That's good?
Oh, absolutely. You know why? Because it reveals God's power. It doesn't reveal
Obama. Why don't you support Obama?
From the jump.
Why
from
not?
the jump?
Good,
from the jump because of what he said about Sean Bell.
Okay,
because and hold on, you asked me a question. And when you get to his acceptance speech in Chicago, when he said about people who look like us, for those who felt the lash of the whip, we did more than just get beat since we got to America. So by those things, I know he don't care about nobody that looks like him.
But now what do you say to somebody that would sound like you just contradicted yourself? You said,
how?
Okay, that is good that Obama is deceiving people and lying to people out here. And now you're saying that you don't support him because of those.
I never did. you get it twisted. I never did. There was never a point of.
That's why I said we getting twisted. That's why I want you to clarify this. The question was, I'm saying to you, and
how's it good?
Right. I'm saying to you, just because God allows a thing to happen, that doesn't mean that it is right for us to partake in said thing. Do you understand what I'm saying, though? See,
Yes,
that's why.
yes,
Okay.
but I'm telling you, it is good because it reveals
Oh,
God's power.
wait, hold on. Because now then that would be a contradiction if you understand what I'm saying. Because
How is it a contradiction when I'm saying it is good because he allowed it, because it reveals his power? I
so
mean,
now,
you can't hold on, you can't show yourself more powerful than sin if sin doesn't exist.
okay, so now you just
And
okay.
hold
You
on.
agree with
One
me?
more thing. Hold on. One more thing. When you mentioned about Adam and the tree of good and evil, it wasn't just it was put in the garden and the Lord let them run free and then whatever. He gave them specific instructions, and that speaks to what you said, BMT, that they just Adam Eve first, but then Adam could have told her, you crazy. God said X, and that's what I'm doing. So, I don't know how it's gonna work out from here, but hey, I ain't doing that. But that's
Okay.
not what happened. He
But
he
see,
partook.
that's why I know you misunderstood what I was saying because you just repeated the same thing that I'm saying. That's why I made the statement. I'm saying just because God allows a thing, okay, just like you said, the tree, that doesn't, and I'm saying that doesn't mean it is good for us to do. Do you get? That's what you
I
basically
get what you're saying.
say. So
I'm going before that part and dealing with the allow part. He allowed it, therefore it is good. If he didn't allow it, then it wouldn't be.
but you're forgetting to the part when I say, okay, that's why I put for us. I didn't just say it's that doesn't mean it's good. I said that doesn't mean it's good for us to do.
Okay.
That's what you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to be real specific. But like I said, when we dealing with the word in this Bible and all of these things, it the reason why a lot of the stuff is good division points is because it does take a lot of nuance. It takes a lot of, this is literally at the core of the system of beliefs. And that's where, that's what I mean. Like it is that when you always hear me say it's not easy because, then you take just like me and you having this exchange, look, just multiply that by millions and billions of people. And we think stuff, we believe it and it's true and it works in our lives, but other people think different things. And like I said before, that's why I try not to go too far out. Now I do like that you came up with that you brought in Romans 9 because it actually adds to and it gives context to the situation.
Well,
Because
there's more.
I'm
There's
trying
more in Romans.
where I'm
There's
just trying
more.
to keep it to that situation because you
Oh,
know
man.
so
Okay, so man. So man.
since we have determined, okay, that just because God allows something to enter into existence, okay, does not mean that we are supposed to partake in a part of what he allowed against what he have instructed. Okay.
Okay.
So that's kind of, I'm trying to get it to where it's right in line with what you saying because I think
I
we
think
on
I
that.
think Romans I think Romans 8:28 will answer your question. It's just
Okay.
one verse. And
Well,
we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose.
okay.
So
Right.
it can be the worst thing, and the
Well, we,
Lord will take that and he will use that for those who are called to his purpose that love him. So regardless of how bad it may seem to us, if think about it like this,
But
Mike.
we getting, but
Hold, hold
Leroy,
on,
Leroy,
home.
stop for a second. See, this is getting sidetracked from the point of this particular conversation. I want to keep it focused on Esau and Jacob.
We can do that.
Now,
I'm not saying we're not doing that. I'm just saying
a little bit outside of that just to give some context, but don't keep going more and more outside of this.
I mean, but this is giving you the reason. If they are called to his purpose, they love him. Therefore, it's to his good and theirs as well. Then I'm gonna give you this one example. When we look at homosexuality, it's not a good thing, right? But he still allows it, right? But
Right.
there are some people who have gone there who completely walk away from it.
Mm-hmm.
And that shows whether those who still remain in it want to leave it or not. It still reveals his goodness in that people come away from that
Right.
by his power, not by anything of their own doing.
Now, how does that tie into the Esau and Jacob issue, though? Because, see, that's where I wanted to keep this particular, like I told you, I know that all of these points are valid and good. See, but this here is such a foundational point. I want
It
to
is.
keep our stuff focused on this because it is, we can't talk about this forever. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, we want to keep it there because what happens is we strand on some point and we don't finish. But like I said, I do like this part because it adds more context to the Esau and Jacob point. But we want to kind of keep on that. The only thing I'm just going to go another step in that because, like I said, we can keep moving on a whole lot of stuff. But like I said, we're not going to agree with every single thing, but we want to try to get at least some understanding. So Jacob Esau despised his birthright.
Mhm.
I'm gonna actually,
After he gave it away, then he despised it. He despised it after he sold it. After he said, "Yeah, hey, I'm about to die over
he
here.
didn't say it
Feed
like that.
me."
He said, "I'm about to die." Okay, but
Yeah,
anyway, let's keep moving.
that's
All
what
right,
he thought.
all right. So let's keep moving.
Never mind. Jesus,
Let's
40
keep
days, 40
moving.
nights.
Next one.
Go
So
ahead.
there was a famine
Hmm.
in the land. Let me see. Oh, Isaac went to Abraham. Good guy. I'm actually I'm skipping some stuff because I'm trying to get straight to, like, let's see, multiply.
Hey, it was a famine in Egypt. If Joseph wasn't there,
Okay.
the 12 tribes would have starved to death. And Joseph wouldn't have been there if Isaac would have chosen Esau and it would have went that way. Joseph wouldn't have been in Egypt. There wouldn't have been no 12 tribes. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
here. Like I said, I'm literally trying to focus and
Come on,
try.
BMT, it's early, man.
He sleep. We about to probably head it off because I wanted to try to get this last point.
Come on, man. Wait, what
No,
time is it out there?
we about to hang it off because
I'm back.
No,
Okay.
no.
All right.
No, I was downstairs, but yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah.
No one's back.
We'll see. Anyway,
I'm thoroughly enjoying the conversation, but as you're saying, and I think one of the main things that we got to understand that what Mike is trying to get at, there's layers to this.
Absolutely.
There's layers, and again, despite we could bring up all the stuff, but we got to look at the context of what happened. That
okay,
he
this
took
is
for granted.
this is the last point I want to kind of actually get y'all on because this is another major. Actually, I want to hit this one and then the one Leroy came up with, and then that's why I was trying to move to, not to disrespect some of the points, but I know for a fact that we can talk real long on this, and it is late, and it's got to be real late where y'all at, because but
You on
anyway,
you on the East Coast
I'm on the
BMT?
west, yeah, BMT's over there.
Oh, okay. I thought he was on the west side. That what you?
No. So no. So let me see. Came to pass. So Isaac was old, right? So here it is.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac was
Yep.
old. His eyes were dim, so he could not see. Okay. He called Esau his eldest son. He said unto him, my son, and he said to him, behold, here I am. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, I know not the day of my death. Therefore take I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, the bow, go out in the field, take me some venison, make me some savory meat such as I love, bring it to me, and that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. So that's why I asked earlier, okay, the birthright was different from the blessing because he already sold the birthright. That's done, right?
Yes.
You don't you don't think so? Was
I
that
said yes.
okay?
Yeah. He can't get it back. It's over.
Yeah, that's done.
Okay.
But this
Yeah.
here is he saying that okay, I want to bless you. So if he hated that blessing, why would he even, if that blessing and the birthright was the same thing, you see what I'm saying? Wouldn't he just run away? Never try?
I mean, he already gave up the blessing. He gave up the blessing when he gave up the birthright, because the
So
birthright is a blessing.
so you saying they're the same thing?
Yeah, and he gave them both up. When he gave up the birthright, he had no regard for the blessing that was going to
Okay.
come from his earthly father. If you don't want the blessing from your heavenly father, okay, which would you rather have?
Oh no,
The
don't ask me
blessing,
that. No, because don't ask me.
okay, it's
Just
not for you.
say
For
what.
anybody who ever hears this,
Yeah.
which would you rather have? The blessing from your father, earthly father, or do you want the blessing from your heavenly father?
Okay. Okay, but okay.
Because
So
the birthright, hold on, Mike. The birthright came from the heavenly father, because that's who decides who was going to be born first.
okay. Well, that's the same thing to you. You saying they're the same thing. Okay, and then
Yeah,
all right.
yeah, yeah. To me, yeah.
So that's your position on that. Now I can see that. All right. So basically, he said. So now Rebecca heard when Isaac spoke to Esau, his son,
She
and
was
Esau
sneaking around.
and
Go
Esau
ahead.
went to the field to hunt for venison. So Esau went to try to get that blessing. He tried and bring it. Rebekah spoke to Jacob her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, bring me some venison and make me savory meat that I may eat, before my death. So now, therefore, son, obey my voice, the voice of the women. Women shall rule over them. Obey, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of goats. I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth, and thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and he may bless thee before his death.
Hmm.
So, so at that point, what are y'all thinking? Is that
I believe she made some curry go.
okay?
I'm,
But
I'm
that was
tripping. I'm tripping.
but
That's a
that's
sidetrack.
I mean, but as far as the morality and all that kind of thing of that particular move.
I mean, going back to Romans, she was already told. She was already told what it was, that the elder would serve the younger. And she heard and believed that from the Lord. Well, when she was told that, what Isaac was trying to do was not the right move. Like BMT said earlier, we try and do our own thing. Hey, Sarah told Abraham, go on in there to Hagar, then we're gonna get us a son. That wasn't the move. That wasn't God's move. So that's why I said whether let me speak for me. Whether I understand it or not fully is immaterial. My goal is to believe it, regardless what I may think.
Okay, and I understand. I could actually understand that. But actually, how can you believe something that you don't understand at all? Now, I can understand
Uh,
if you said like this. I don't know fully, so I believe in the Lord, and I trust in the Lord. But
Absolutely.
you can't. Can you believe something that you don't know about or understand? How can you?
I don't understand gravity. I believe I ain't just gonna float away. So yeah, you absolutely can. I don't understand
Oh,
how he
wait a minute,
makes us
that
not float
was
off.
the gravity wasn't a good example because you do understand gravity.
How?
That,
I
that
can't
wasn't
tell you how gravity works.
you
We don't
understand it.
even know. I,
You
I
understand
understand. I understand what the effect is and what it's been
okay, well, there you
labeled,
go.
but to tell you how it works, I don't understand that.
Okay, well, but
I mean, look, man,
I'm just saying
look.
that probably I see what you're saying, but I don't think that one was a good example because everybody kind of understands if you throw something up, it's gonna come down. If you know what I'm saying, that's kind of
But how do we know? But how does that work?
well
I
that
don't understand how that works. Some people say it's because of the rotation of the Earth,
okay.
but then there are others who say that the Earth is still flat. So how do I don't understand that.
That part you don't understand, so you really can't believe that part. But the part of gravity that you do understand, if you throw something up, it's gonna fall
It's
down.
coming down.
You know
Yeah,
that.
and that's why I said humans gave it a name, but to say I understand how it works is different from understanding that it works.
Hmm. Okay.
What goes up definitely comes down, but
Okay.
I can't tell you what makes it come down. We call it gravity, but can I write that down on, well, because X plus Y equals Z, then gravity means we ain't getting off. I mean, I can't explain that,
Okay. Well,
but I definitely believe that it works because we ain't floating off. We don't
right.
have wings.
So, so basically, he's saying that she was doing the righteous thing in deceiving Isaac.
I mean, she knew what she was told.
I'm
She
just
did
saying
what she
that
was told, that the elder would serve the younger. So hey, let me put this coat on you, take this food in there, and get that blessing from your dad. Even though that the blessing from Isaac, what is that worth? Really, what is that worth?
hold on. You saying that this all was unnecessary?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
Because if
so
it was unnecessary, it wouldn't have been in there.
okay, so yeah, exactly. So let's not say it was worth like it's not worth nothing. This is very important. If it's there.
No,
It's maintained.
okay.
It's for us to look at, and it obviously had an effect. So it was something. So but my
Isaac's blessing.
yeah, Isaac's blessing. Yeah,
Oh,
Isaac's
okay.
blessing. Because the thing is, you got to realize the first of all,
And that's why I put that
who was
question out
given
there.
authority? Who was given authority? Man.
Adam. Yeah,
And
man.
here's
Yep.
what that's where Isaac
And
and stuff from.
and off
So
the rip we blew it.
that tradition, that's why all that. That's what God started. And so Isaac's blessing meant something to that family. And it meant something to us. It means something to the world. So it's very important. And so I know what you might be saying, according to the Heavenly Father, but it's not really. Yeah, that meant something. But so the thing is though, okay, so he so this is how I'm understanding that, and I'm not trying to be facetious, but I want you to just comment on this. It seems to me that people are saying that God commanded Rebecca to deceive her husband. So is God in the business of deception?
He said he was in strong delusion. So, everything is in his wheelhouse to do,
Okay.
regardless what it is.
Okay. So deception. So he have
Oh,
this,
yeah.
it's okay for her to
He
deceive her
he
husband.
hey Mike, he hardened Pharaoh's heart. There was one point when Pharaoh was about to, well, maybe I should, but the Lord was like, tweak, and you know what? Nah, they ain't going nowhere. I ain't letting nobody go.
Right. Did he? Okay. So,
It,
but
it's in his wheelhouse to
that's
that
not
his power be revealed.
yeah, but
Go ahead.
that wasn't I think that's different from deception. But anyway, okay, so Isaac and so Rebecca decided to, because God actually spoke to Isaac before, so I'm interested to, instead of just speaking to Isaac and saying, give it to Jacob.
Well, he knew Isaac was gonna pick Esau,
Oh,
so he
Isaac,
didn't.
no, he could have commanded Isaac because he has spoke to Isaac before. He could have.
Maybe he did. that
No,
we aren't privy to, and we
wait a
could
minute,
say
wait a
that
minute.
was lost in the
Hold on,
translation or
hold on,
hidden
hold on.
intentionally.
You said maybe God told Isaac and they didn't record that in the Bible?
And like I said, maybe we can attribute that to being lost in translation or intentionally removed because there are some there are some things I don't understand, but
Okay.
I don't. But the word says, "Lean not unto thine own understanding." So I can't lean onto what I think. I just have to put myself in a position where I just accept it regardless. If I don't accept it regardless, then where's my faith?
Well, the thing is, at the same time, you're supposed to get study for understanding.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
you are.
So it's not about, I mean, true enough, at the end of the day, like I said, even at the end of this day of this conversation, it's all going to be about our faith, right? So that's not the purpose of the conversation. But if you really are not trying, now you, like you said, you lean not towards your understanding, but that doesn't mean don't try to get the understanding, because the understanding, is going to help you, make sure that you know a little bit more, and instead of just kind of, just not really getting it, period. So I
Well,
mean, yeah, I mean, I understand, because you're supposed to get understanding. I know it says that too.
yeah,
So
and all that get understanding,
right,
and we get that from the word. When he said, lean not unto thy own understanding," he follows that with acknowledge him in all thy ways, and he will direct your path.
right,
Acknowledge him. Don't lean on what you think. Acknowledge him. He'll direct you.
right. Yeah. So my thing is that seems interesting to me. That's an interesting, because of what you brought out here. This one,
Well, Romans.
yeah. Shall we
Oh
say,
yeah,
is there
yeah.
unrighteous?
Because if I'm not mistaken, in the Old Testament, it doesn't say that he spoke to Rebecca. He reveals that to us in the New Testament, and that's why I said that they
So
have hidden things from us.
to believe, yeah, and like you said, but I mean, I'm resisting believing that God actually wanted deception or instructed deception. So that's the only thing that I'm
Mm,
resisting.
I
Deception,
mean, I can understand why you would say that.
yeah, because deception in that way, it seems that would be kind of, not really
not very heavenly like.
right.
But we talking about the same God who said he would send strong delusion. So I don't.
Delusion and
I
deception.
mean, I can't. I was about to say I don't put limits on God, but I can't. So
No,
it's
but
like fighting a
he,
losing battle here.
well, it's not fighting. It's trying to understand. See,
Yeah,
because
yeah. I mean, that's just a matter,
and see that's
a
the thing,
figure of speech. That's
right?
just a figure of speech.
So okay, so here we go. So I just want to say, so anyway, let's try to finish this off. Actually, I'm about to. We might have to do the part 2 to this because this is going a little long. But
Yeah, we ain't even get to genocide.
right. We
Darn.
didn't get to it. Cool. Jacob said
Good.
this was no, but this is a very vital to me. That's why I wanted to try to focus on these two because this here is foundational to what we see going on today with the genocides and all that stuff. Yeah, so
It is, but we also have to realize that those who are perpetrating some of the evils we see, you use the word. I mean, they would say to their advantage. I mean, last week, Netanyahu was talking about we need to be like Amalek.
see,
Well, and and I think you play. I think you either it was on We Woke Now. Or I think you may have played it where they actually. I mean, they actually believe, like you meant, like BMT had mentioned earlier, that they the chosen people. They actually believe that when the clip I saw, it's a regular old white guy saying that way. If y'all the chosen people, then y'all should be believing and obeying better than I do. But
well,
that's
see,
not what we
that,
see. Even though
but
he said we need to be like Amalek and go in and kill everything. And he
okay.
talking about the Palestinians. So evidently they not who they say they are.
Well, the thing is though, Leroy, but if
So
you they actually if you saying that God is okaying like deception and then you know Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau thy firstborn, which is a flat out lie.
yep, sure is.
Flat out lie. I think this is the first flat out lie that we see in the scripture. I might be wrong.
Oh
I might be wrong.
no.
Before
Come on, man. Hold on.
this,
The father
this
of lies put out the lies first.
no
Come on,
who
man.
who
Serpent. The serpent. Oh, surely you won't die.
they die right away.
He it wasn't about whether you die right away or not. And he said when you
Hold
when
on,
he
hold on.
said when you
Wait,
partake of
Leroy,
that tree,
you're talking
death
about
will come.
something that I'm not saying because you're going off on something that you're thinking I'm saying. Make sure you get exactly what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. A flat out lie that's easy to see completely that is not a guess here. Like
Yeah.
no, you saying now Eve, you gonna say Eve and the serpent, and we had to prove that was a lie because they ate the apple and they didn't die like they thought he meant, and then
They
it
didn't
takes
have to. They didn't have to prove it.
dude, it
They
took
didn't
a
have to prove it.
listen what I'm saying though. See, you're talking about a lie that's different than what I'm talking about. I'm saying when I use the words flat out, that's different versus a lie that we're going to see over a period of time that this is a lie. You see what I'm saying? This man says, I am Esau. That's
God,
a plain, complete, absolute, flat out. That is something like Obama is doing. That is something like, that is. Come on, man. You know what I'm talking about. This is a little bit different lie. This ain't. This is not like a lie. Like, oh, God commanded you shall not surely die.
so
That's not.
that's a
That's not flat out like this.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, because what we talking about the author of the author of lies. He pretty good at deception. Let me say this really quick. I had a conversation on a radio show many years ago, and this guy called in afterwards and said that, well, we can just out deceive Satan. You gonna lie better than the father of lies and beat him at it? You don't beat, you don't conquer lies with more lies. You don't
Okay,
beat Satan
so
with lies.
but see now you starting to talk like me now. That's why I'm having a problem with Jacob. Okay, see, because of this here, because
Who is called to his purpose?
huh?
Who is called to God's purpose? Jacob or Esau? He said he hated Esau. Well, am I supposed to disregard that?
No, are you but let's look at it because like you said earlier, there's different lost in translations. There's other stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
We can't disregard this. This is he's practicing the same technique as the father of lies. This is a flat out lie right here. And so that's why I'm like, I'm just looking. I'm just like, okay.
There go Jacob with there go Mama's boy.
Hey, like I said, I'm not trying to. And I know that people want to come up with something, and we don't know, we don't understand all the details, but I am not going to disregard. I'm looking at something here, and I highlighted it. It's flat out. It's in every translation. He says to his biological father, and he knows he's Jacob. I am Esau, thy firstborn.
Yeah.
He didn't say, Daddy, Esau sold me his birthright with some porridge. He didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't tell the truth and say, hey, Daddy, yeah, this is Jacob. I had waited until Esau, but he promised me his birthright. So you have to bless it to me because he sold that to me in promise. He didn't say that. That's
okay. He didn't. Okay.
So he did. Yeah, I'm supposed to believe that the righteous God told him to use lies. Yeah. Okay. That's just weird to me. So we're gonna move on.
Wait. I mean, but hold on. You what Jacob did, you tried to make it as if God made him do that. I mean, he already had the birthright.
Okay.
So if we look, how about this? If we're gonna be practical, did he even need to go in there and get the blessing? He could have just walked off into wherever and said, I don't need his blessing. I got the birthright. And Esau know it.
See, now that puts you in a little bit of a different situation because you got to figure out why didn't he just forget Isaac? Why does the Bible tell us this happened? See, and that's all I'm saying is people, I think, I mean,
go back to Romans 9:13.
We think we understand something right, and we missing something. That's all.
And that's why he said, lean not unto your own understanding. And all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path.
Exactly.
Regardless whether you understand it or not.
As long as you acknowledge him, though, what does that mean? Is you look
acknowledge him, honor him. If I got any doubts about what I should or shouldn't do, I need to start with him before I go on my own path and try and figure this out by myself.
Exactly. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, did this understanding come from him, or did it come from somebody preaching about him? And what was their understanding? See, that's all I'm saying. Like, if you acknowledge what's right, we know God righteousness is the God of truth, justice, righteousness. You know, he's calling us to do things of brotherly love. What is that? The Beatitudes, Jesus. Those are, that's the, you know, acknowledging the God that I'm listening. But when I'm seeing certain practices that's not
But that's what Jacob did. That's not what God did. Jacob went in there and lied to get the birthright.
you said
That you know what? You know what that show? You know what that shows? It shows the frailty of man. That he was willing to go in there and lie to his daddy.
Okay.
Well, okay. Well, David was a man after God's own heart. Do we need to go into the things that David did that weren't righteous? But that didn't stop him from being.
No,
God said that David was a man after his own heart. Even though he did some things that wasn't great at all.
right.
Bathsheba getting her pregnant.
I mean,
She was
like
somebody else's wife, sending her husband in the battle to die. That's all on David. But that still didn't stop him from being a man after God's own heart, according to God.
Right.
So we got to put the sin where it belongs. We can't put, like it said, is God unrighteous? God forbid.
No, that's exactly
so
what
I'm not
acknowledging God, because that's the pattern. That's the pattern I'm looking at.
What's that?
That's why I'm like,
how people fall.
Okay, so anyway, that happened. But like I said, we got to probably do a part 2 of some of this because it's kind of.
I mean, look at Moses. But okay, I get it. I mean, Moses did some things that wasn't great either. Look, Moses was an Israelite that grew up in Pharaoh's house.
Wait a minute.
He was in line to be the next Pharaoh.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, okay. So my yeah, like I said, you know, this is, you know, just conversation, and you know, I think this was extremely valuable because people are gonna take all kind of positions, but my thing is we can have this conversation, and you know, this is what we believe in, why we believe it, and humble, you know, like me myself. I'm just like, okay, it's kind of, you know, I'm not, you know, like you said, so should I ignore this? No, I don't say ignore anything. but at the same time, see, this is if we do not try to actually deal with some of the issues, then that's why we have a lot of people out here saying contradiction, you know, even though this just a misunderstanding. See, you know, so, you know, that's the reason why we have to do the work to try to actually, if we're saying that people are supposed to do this or supposed to do that, and when folks have legitimate questions, and, you know, we don't really give them even close to something, you know what I mean, that they're like, okay, I've got this issue here. Here's the issue. And I'm just, you know, trying to honestly, you know, because like I said, regardless of the fact, I'm still going to follow the righteous and the good and this and that, and try to keep myself. But I have this question, period. And it's like, this is interesting here. And then, like you said, when I get, you know, people get missiles and bombs, they're like, oh, we need to use this Bible. We need to be like Abimelech. Because
Amalek, yeah,
whatever, yeah, Amalek.
Yeah,
we need to do this because of that, and then you came.
Yeah, but that's him using that. He don't believe that.
Okay,
he don't